Hello, everyone. So I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, IMA policies and rules. I know. So IMA policies and rules, what are they? They're Amazon's way of basically defining and controlling permissions to your AWS resources. So you usually assign IMA permissions and roles to users or groups, and then that's how IMA users have access to AWS resources. You could also assign these permissions to a role, and then that role can be assigned to a Lambda function. So this is how Lambda functions get access to other resources in the AWS account. So this is actually pretty important. So let's cover this. Let's look at the docs. There's the docs right there, and there's two types of actually IMA policies or roles. Let's cover the managed one. The managed ones. So managed IMA policies are really cool. Basically, Amazon manages those policies for you. So the reason why they're cool is Amazon is kind of relentless about releasing new features. So let's say they release a new API call, and you have actually defined a custom IMA role, a policy, and that doesn't actually include that new API call. Well, you have the responsibility to go and add that API call now to your policy. But Amazon will actually manage that for you, and then they will add it, and they know when they're releasing features, so they will add it and then take care of that for you. So that's actually pretty nice. And there's a long list of different managed roles that are predefined that are very helpful to kind of use. All right, then there are kind of just IMA policies or custom IMA policies. This is basically you have way more control and access of exactly how you want to define the rule and everything. But again, you have ownership of this. But sometimes you kind of need to use these things. All right, and within Jets, there are different ways to define IMA policies. Basically, you could define them at the function level. So this is like very specific to this function. Here is defining, I want the show a Lambda function to have this IMA policy where it has access to S3 and access to logs. And this is actually like shorthand notation that gets expanded to an IMA policy. So I'll show you what this gets expanded to. Here's the example. Here's a simple statement, and then it expands to a document that looks something like this. So then basically there's the policy document. That's what they call it. There's the statement of the policy document. There's the action, the effect, and the resource. So you use that when you kind of just need to add, add additional access and find a kind of simple way. But then you can also use the hash notation here, where you can actually specify that policy document right there, and then that also gets expanded in the example that's here. This will get expanded to this. Or you could use the full policy hash if you need that much level of control. Then you basically, here's the full policy hash right here, where you kind of have version and kind of have everything. Okay, so those are different ways you can add like a custom IMA policy. You can do a similar thing on the managed side. The managed side, they get expanded a little bit differently. Basically, all you do is provide this kind of string, and then it gets kind of added to the full. It gets expanded to the full ARM. There. So that makes it a lot easier. Okay, let's go ahead and now actually add all these rules, and then we'll all deploy them, and then we'll see kind of how it changes. Oh, well, we should look at the existing rules. So let's actually look at the existing IMA policies. So I already have a Jets app kind of up and currently running, and we're going to go take a look at the roles that's associated with this app currently. There are two roles right here. Demo dev, that's because it's kind of like the namespace, and then the application role and the Jets preheat job role. So there's kind of two roles by default. The preheat job is kind of separate because it needs access to actually call other Lambda functions to pre-warm them. So that's why that's their separate row there. But let's look at the application row. You can see the application row actually only restricts access to logs to basically only this log group right here. So it's restricted that way. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go modify that. Let's go back to the rows here. We're going to go modify this and then see the rows it adds and how this all kind of works. So let's go ahead and grab the first one, IMA policy. Let's go to the code, post controller, our favorite controller, add this in. So this is, let's explain what this is doing. So this is saying, use this IMA policy for the show method here. The new method is still going to use the default one, but we're going to override the default one right now. So the default one we're going to override with this guy. Right? And this is class IMA policy. So is saying that all the methods in this class that are going to be turned into Lambda functions will use this IMA policy, except for the show one because this IMA policy is here. Okay, and now the default one is actually in configure application. So let me show you where that is right here, config application. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this example here and paste this on the bottom here. Okay, cool. So that's all good. So those are all the custom IMA policies. Let's go ahead and just go get the managed ones too. We'll just do it all in one go. Okay, and we'll go ahead and add the managed one right here. So this is saying give read-only access through the managed IMA policy to the show function here. And this one is another one. This is the class level. Let's just go ahead and add that right here. Okay, so that's looking good. So this is giving IMA read-only access and config rule execution rule. So this is a service rule that's created the first time you use config rules. So if you don't have you've never used config rules before, then this is not going to exist. So you have to use maybe another example. Okay, and then let's see the application Y ones. So let me just go ahead and use application Y ones and just add it right here. All right, so that gives us an example of every single one. Okay, Jets deploy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and deploy that. And so it's going to take a little bit of time, about a minute and a half or so, to deploy this Jets app. And then we'll come back and we'll take a look. Okay, so that finished deploying. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the IMA roles that were created from that deployment. All right, so here's the IMA console right here. And oh no, this is the Lambda management console. Okay, here is the managed IMA management console. And here's the application role. And now you'll notice there are two managed roles. You see? AWS managed policy, that have been attached. And let's go back to the code. Let's put this side by side so we can actually see very clearly. Okay, and close this bad boy up, and maybe put this in a split window down here. Okay, and we could close the terminal. There we go. So now we can kind of see, hopefully everything, mostly everything. Let's resize this like that. There we go. Okay. So, and put this here. Okay. So here is the roles. Before there were, I guess the roles name kind of get cut off there. So here we go. Let's do it like there. And then I'll just drag. This whole video is going to be just me dragging things. Okay. All right. So there we go. So before there was only the application role and the preheat job role. Now there's actually two additional roles that Jets created, and then this actually role got modified too. So why don't we take a look at that? Let's click on that. And you can see now that there's these two additional roles right here. I'm just gonna have to scroll this a little bit over. These are AWS managed policies, or there's two additional policies, and these are AWS managed policies because we added these lines of code right here. The class managed IMA policy. No, that's not it. Down here, we added this to the application. The CloudTrail read-only access to IMA. So that's what that's all about. And then we click show more. Here's the custom IMA policy, the inline one. And you can see that this is now changed. This is actually log star now. Before it was scoped to only the logs of the application. But we overrode that down right here, this line. Okay, and then let's look at the next one. The next one is controller. So why don't we look at controller? So this is the class IMA policy and class managed IMA policy. And you can see it. The IMA read-only corresponds to this. The service role, the config rules right there, and then the show more. If you click on this, expand that, you can see DynamoDB has been added now, as well as logs there. Okay, and the last one, let's go back and look at the show role. So the show role is specific to the show action here, or the show Lambda function. So there's EC2 read-only, the manage policy, and the inline policy right here, S3 logs. So we should see S3 and logs. There it is. Okay, so I also want to kind of show you guys how to check this on the Lambda functions themselves. So let's go look at the Lambda functions. And we could look at show. So that show one should be associated to that specific function IMA role. And you can see it, execution role right here. See how it says demo dev post controller show. I closed it down, but let's open it back up. Let's take a look at rows. And you can see here's the show one. So post controller. So all the other ones in the controller, they should the post controller should have that row now. So why don't we just grab a random one? We can grab edit, and then you should have the IMA row as edit as just the regular controller row there. You see, And then since this application also has kind of jobs right here, we could look at hard job dig. We can scroll down here and we can see that this one's associated with the application role, the application wide role there. So that's kind of how it all works there. So the IMA policies, I know is everybody's favorite topic, but it's very important because this is how you handle kind of security and how you handle kind of access to your AWS resources here. So it's very important to be able to control that and be able to finally control exactly to your needs there. And I just want to show you and demonstrate exactly how that all fits together and how that all works. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you like videos like this, be sure to share it and like it to encourage more content like this. And if you want to watch more future videos like this, subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.